Namaste to you, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Wednesday edition of the Lall Show on Kaieteur Radio 99.1 and 99.5 FM. As you know, we come here every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 19 hours 20, and the rebroadcasts every Sunday at 11 a.m., 4 p.m., and 7 p.m. Ms. Lall will make his presentation this evening, after which, when time permits us, we will take your call. So without further ado, I hand things over to the man of the moment. Namaste to you, sir, and the floor is now yours to make your presentation.
Namaste to you, Josh, and to everybody in the studio.
Namaste.
Namaste. Well, you're right when you says this show comes to you every Monday, Wednesdays, and Friday. But you forgot to tell them that we are rebroadcasting this show every day at 11 a.m.
Yes.
And on Sundays, you can hear all three of the programs at 11 a.m., 4 p.m. and 7 p.m. Please don't forget to tell your neighbors, tell your families and your friends. It is important for them to know what's happening with their resources in their own country. Namaste.
Namaste.
Before I get to our main event, main topic tonight, I just want to give you guys a little piece of news that happened this afternoon. A couple was walking in Stabrook Market and two bandits snatched the female friend gold chain, and the next one telling him to stab the woman, not knowing that her male partner was an armed policeman. He pulled out his gun, shot one dead, and the other one is in the hospital. Kudos to that policeman. If you need help, I am here to help you. Then there was another terrible thing that happened to a female passenger at Lenora last night. She took a taxi and the driver, I am told, and a bandit inside robbed her and pushed her out the car. Then let me give you another one. A doctor in Kingston was murdered last night and his car went missing. Is that good enough for the news? So far. Yes, so far that's good enough. And there are lots more you can read in the Kaieteur News tomorrow morning. Just pick up a copy. Joshua Harris, Danny, and Uncle Lall. Raj, tomorrow is Diwali, the festival of lights, where Hindus celebrate the victory of good over evil. Brothers and sisters, let me use this opportunity to wish all our Hindu brothers and sisters a happy and enjoyable Diwali on behalf of my family and the entire staff of Kaieteur News and 99.1 and 99.5 FM radio, Josh. Yes. Seeing tomorrow is a holiday, I hope all the Guyanese can use the day to reflect and in their own small way try to counter the evil that is living in our mining lands and outside there in our oily waters. How it sound there? Yes. Yes. Mm-hmm. In our mining lands and outside there in our oily waters. You gotta pray for those devils. Suriname is still in the drilling stage. They found oil in one single oil block so far, but they are not pumping oil as yet. They are they are in the setting up stage to begin pumping oil in a few years' time. You hear me, sir?
Yes.
They are not pumping oil. They are still,
stage.
yes, good. The presentation I did Monday on what the Vice President said with respect to insurance in the oil industry, Josh, after listening back to him, what he said and how he said it, I think I did a very poor job responding to him. Honestly, I was very uncomfortable with myself all day yesterday and today. I felt I did an injustice to you guys and myself on this utmost important issues to all of us. And what make it worse, last night a caller said to me, Glenn, at least we getting $2 billion US dollars insurance. It was then I realized that although I played the tape, the Guyanese people did not get it, did not understand what the Vice President said. And the caller sounded very intelligent to me. So I have to elaborate on this subject matter a little more, so you guys can get a better understanding of the danger that lies ahead for Guyana and all of us. A Suriname insurance company, Asuria, a few months ago did a sod-turning ceremony to build their new headquarters here in Guyana. And the main speaker at that ceremony was Dr. Singh. He said at that ceremony that insurance, uncle, is a vital toolkit that everybody should have. It is not something that should be discretionary. It's a must. He said there are lots of people in Guyana who believe that insurance is something we can do without. Or some of us take the minimum insurance required because it is a must to get by with. Like car insurance, house insurance, accident, life, and so on. I want to play Dr. Singh's speech for you guys to hear these leaders for yourselves when they speak and how they speak. You would believe they're the best thing to happen to us since sliced bread was born. Just play and listen carefully, brothers and sisters. Please play that tape.
There is a second point that I would like to make, and that's a point that I would like to make as it relates to the insurance industry and insurance products. It's absolutely fantastic that Asuria is here and that the insurance industry will expand, no doubt will expand with Asuria's expansion in Guyana. We think that's a great thing. And I will make a point that I made in 2012 when Asuria entered the market. I feel very strongly that insurance is not discretionary or optional expenditure. There are a lot of people in Guyana who believe that insurance is something that perhaps you can afford to do without, or you take the absolute minimum insurance that is required because you must have insurance. You take some minimum insurance just to get by. And I want to say in the most emphatic terms possible that insurance is an indispensable staple in any company's and any household's risk management toolkit. When you speak of risk management, you can't speak of risk management either from a business standpoint or even a household standpoint. You can't speak of risk management without considering the importance of insurance. And you might not appreciate the importance of insurance until you consider perhaps at a household level what happens to your family if you suffer a calamity, God forbid, if you suffer a calamitous experience, at the limit, death. Or perhaps if you don't want to go to that extreme, incapacitation and inability to work. And if you consider what that means for your family, what untimely death or incapacitation can mean for your family and their well-being, their capacity to educate the young ones in the family, their capacity to live and enjoy the standard of living that they enjoyed when you were working or when you were alive, if you're the main breadwinner of the family. I think if you pause for a moment and you contemplate, and I'm speaking here about insurance at a personal level, if you contemplate for a moment what untimely death or incapacitation can mean for the well-being of your family, you might have a second thought about the value of personal insurance and products like life insurance and so on. The same applies to things like fire and other risks. You know, we don't think about it until we suffer a calamity. And then when you suffer a calamity, you discover, you know, the dire straits that you are in. Likewise with businesses. This is not something that is unique to households. It's something that businesses face as well. You know, sometimes you might think that we might be saving by taking the absolute minimum insurance. You know, we take the absolute minimum just to get by because the law says that we must have some minimum insurance. But the reality is that if you contemplate for a moment, again, God forbid, what would happen if you were to suffer a calamitous occurrence, I think you might think twice. And so I wanted to take the opportunity today, because this is the first time that I'm speaking for some while at an insurance event. I wanted to repeat a message that I delivered in 2012, and that is to say, not just to the insurance sector, and I think the insurance sector needs to do more to educate people about why insurance is important and why insurance is really indispensable, right? Really indispensable, like I said, an indispensable element in the risk management toolkit. I'm not sure how to break that down in simpler terms, but I really feel that every business and every household needs to think very carefully about what the risks are that they face and what insurance products are available to help them to mitigate those risks. You're not going to be able to eliminate all the risks, but there are insurance products that are available to help you to mitigate those risks. And I want to urge, first of all, every Guyanese business and every Guyanese household to pause and take a long, hard look at the risks that you face and how you can mitigate those risks using insurance products. But I want to urge to the Insurance Supervision Department at the bank. I know that you're a supervisor and regulator, and you know, this may or may not be within the remit of the regulator or supervisor, but I think public education on the value and importance of insurance is extremely important. You know, and equally to the industry. I know the industry is organized, and you have the Insurance Association, and you know, you have lots of insurance companies and brokers and so on. I think the industry needs to think as well about how it can revive public awareness of the importance and value of insurance and public appreciation of the value of insurance.
My gosh, I love that man, Ashney Singh. Uncle, I think this man is in the wrong business. He should have been in the industry business. If you open an insurance company, I'm sure he will be the leading insurance company on earth with the way how he sell insurance there.
Insurance broker.
Yes. He said, I want to say emphatically, definitely, that insurance is an indispensable staple in any company's and household risk management toolkit. Man, wow. Wow. This man got words. Indispensable staple, uncle. Staple is when you staple something together. You bind it together. It must not be separated or misplaced. You just bind it for life. That's what he's actually saying there. This doctor got words, uncle. This doctor know he thing, man. And he know this thing in his bloodstream. I wonder when he will staple ExxonMobil to Guyana with full insurance, using steel staple and not the ordinary wire staple. When are you going to do that, Miss Harris? Then he went on to say, you can't speak about risk management without considering the importance of insurance. The doctor said, you might not appreciate the importance of insurance until you consider what can happen to your family if you suffer a calamity, God forbid, like death, or perhaps you fall sick and unable to work for life. This man got words, eh? This man know this thing. Uncle, the doctor said, if you pause and consider what that means for your family in the case of a death where the breadwinner is not there anymore to provide the household with a good standard of living, then, only then you will have a second thought about the value of personal insurance and products like life insurance and so on. Yes, Josh, this man understands the value of maximum insurance, not minimum. You gotta love these guys when they speak. You heard him, Auntie. The doctor went on to say the same thing applies to things like fire and other risk that we don't think about until we suffer a calamity. Then he wake up. Then we wake up to the value of proper insurance. The doctor said the same thing applies to business. You may not want to spend money taking absolute minimum insurance just to get by. But in reality, if something happens to your business, you're going to think twice. Man, Auntie, when I listen to this man, I really believe that this man should run the oil sector to get the type of insurance Guyana needed from Exxon and not our vice president. This man should be the insurance, he should be in the insurance business, because I think he can even sell animals, not homes. I think he can even sell our Kaieteur insurance. How bad he is with the words he said there. He went on to say that the insurance people should do a lot more to educate people about how and why insurance is so important and why insurance is really indispensable. Really indispensable? An indispensable element in the risk management toolkit. He said he don't know how to break that down in layman terms, but he really feel every business, every household should pause and take a long hard look at the risk they face and protect themselves with adequate insurance to cover them. As he ended his speech, Ms. Harris, he said, Bank of Guyana is the supervisor and the regulator of the insurance industry, and urged them to educate the public on the value and importance of insurance. It is extremely important, he said. I wonder what he can say about insurance in the oil sector, Ms. Harris. This is not household or business alone. This is the entire country and its people in extreme danger with not minimum insurance, Dr. Singh, but with little or nothing insurance, nothing, no insurance to safeguard we and future generations. Mr. Singh, let me add a little to what you say. All over the world, people take out insurance, all types of insurance, including funeral insurance, so they don't die and leave a burden on their loved ones. That's how important it is in today's world, in the today's world we live, where insurance is concerned, Ms. Harris. You heard Mr. Singh himself, one of the financial gurus of Guyana. Now let me turn to the biggest financial guru of Guyana, Dr. Jagdeo, how he is safeguarding Guyana with insurance. Let me give you guys a heads up. What happened with Liza 1? The coalition issued Liza 1 permit to Exxon with minimum insurance. When they came for Liza 2 permission, the coalition realized that they did not have full cover insurance on Liza 1. So they demanded full cover insurance from the parent companies of Sinnock, Hess, and ExxonMobil. An agreement, uncle, was reached between the local representatives of the oil people here with the coalition that they will get the parent companies to sign taking over and beyond all damages that the minimum insurance cannot handle. The government took their words for granted and give them Liza 2 permission, believing that Exxon and the 2 others parent companies will keep their promise. Hear me now, Ms. Harris. However, months pass, 2 years pass, and ExxonMobil did not sign and send back that agreement to Guyana. This was made public and carried in the press by a man named Vincent Adams, who used to head the EPA at the time. The whole country knows that Guyana was living on minimum insurance in the event of an oil spill. As much as the coalition was bad, Ms. Harris, signing that one-sided, lopsided contract without full insurance, at least they made efforts to get the parent companies of the oil players to sign an agreement agreeing to give us full cover insurance. But up come elections and the coalition left. And our vice president, Jagdeo, who knew that Guyana is in great danger not having full cover insurance with Liza 1 and 2. The 1 and 2, despite having that promised agreement, in which Exxon promised to sign, taking full responsibility of all the costs, he went ahead and approved the third project, Payara, without asking, without demanding that promised agreement from ExxonMobil. He grant, Ms. Harris, he grant that third permit that put all of us, plus our Caribbean neighbors, in extreme danger without having full cover insurance. You hear me? I should have said, instead of saying if an oil spill, I should have said when an oil spill occurred. Yep. You know, now he wants to rush through the fourth project, the Yellowtail. He held a press conference yesterday, day before yesterday, and he was pausing, he was stammering, he was fumbling and thinking what words he should use and how he should use it to trick we or to throw we in another salawala. You know what I mean when I use the word salawala. I will play him again just now for you to hear. For you to hear. Again, uncle. But let me give you this piece of information before. A Surinamese oil official told me yesterday that Suriname decide not only full cover insurance in the oil sector, but Suriname also decide who would be giving them insurance. You know what I mean, Ms. Harris? Them ain't going to take no flimsy insurance people or insurance from wishy-washy people. Them choosing the best insurance companies of the world who have the ability and capacity to pay when a disaster happens in Suriname. Yes. Them even have insurance to cover all the neighbors, including we here in Guyana. You might want to laugh and say at least we okay and we will be protected by Suriname. But who will protect you from your own disaster, Ms. Harris? You see what I mean? Yep. Suriname ain't pumping oil yet, but they have something that we don't have. Full cover insurance for every dry or wet hole them drilling out there looking for oil. And don't forget, them don't pay a cent for any drilling. Guyana, on the other hand, has been paying every cent in the billions for every hole, umpteen years now, looking for oil. And we never had a single blind cent in insurance to cover we behind. No, we never had nothing. Them still drilling, looking for oil this moment as we speak, uncle, without any insurance. Imagine Suriname not paying for drilling and have full cover insurance. Guyana paying for drilling without a single cent insurance, man. Is what is happening in this land. Unbelievable. Sometimes I want to sing the song, "Oh Beautiful Guyana," but I didn't finish my singing lessons. Yeah, keep it. Now, auntie and uncle, let me take you back to our Vice President Jagdeo and this fourth project called Yellowtail, where insurance is concerned. This is where I want to expand a little more on what he said and how he said it. After his press conference Monday afternoon, Uncle, I didn't get enough time to really digest what he said and what he means and where he's taking Guyana. So I will now play him back, in which I can break down for you. Very simple. Uncle, when I listen to this man, I don't want to only cry for Guyana, but I want to scream for Guyana. Sir, could you play the second tape? Listen to him carefully.
As you know, we're constantly seeking to improve the permits, and so we've already, in the one that we're looking for the Yellowtail project, we're looking for a generic position where the parent company, Exxon, will now guarantee up to we're looking at maybe up to $2 billion of any damage caused here in Guyana, because from the beginning there was no parent company guarantee. It was implicit, they said. So we are looking at it, and it has to grow. This would have to grow. But it is now acknowledging, getting them to acknowledge that there is that link between the two. That's crucial for us as we move forward.
Wow. Wow. He said, as you know, we are constantly seeking to improve the oil permits. What improvements are you talking about, Vice President? The Payara project you approved is worse than Liza 1 and Liza 2 that the coalition signed off. Liza 1 and 2 is about $9 billion US land in our hands as costs, and we accepted it. And you know it was wrong. You know we had to review, check and verify every single cent on those two projects, which the coalition didn't. You came in and signed off $9 billion for the third project, Payara, in 6 weeks, without any proper checks, verification, or review on it. You brought in a woman from Canada who never review or check any field development plan, any project in her life, and she done it in 6 weeks. Something of this nature, Uncle, does take 2 years and more with oil exports to complete. And she was paid handsomely too. To do what? To do what? At least the coalition didn't spend any money on Liza 1 and 2. But we footing that bill for a Canadian woman. Yes, we footing a bill for she. She smiled and said, give it to Jagdeo. Give it to him. And he approved it the next day without full cover insurance to safeguard we in this country. Is this what you call constantly seeking to improve the permits, Mr. Jagdeo? Let's move on, Ms. Harris. This is serious business, Ms. Harris. This is life and death situation we are in. He said we are looking for a generic position where the parent company. He means a standard position. Where the parent company, Exxon, will now guarantee up to $2 billion US. Well, we are looking at maybe up to $2 billion of any damage caused here in Guyana. Because from the beginning, there was no parent company guarantee. He is correct, Ms. Harris, when he said from the beginning there was no parent company guarantee from Exxon. Says nothing about insurance. You heard his words. No parent company guarantee. Like that word insurance can't come out his mouth. I want to believe that's another line ExxonMobil write and give him to repeat, but he didn't have the script. So he talk out of his head and fumble while trying to say what ExxonMobil wanted him to repeat. He said we are looking to guarantee maybe up to $2 billion for any damage caused in Guyana. Ms. Harris, let me repeat those words, man. Looking to guarantee from Exxon maybe up to $2 billion US. You know what I mean, Uncle? We don't have a cent insurance on to now, and he running to sign off this fourth project, which is more dangerous than Liza 1, 2, and 3. I told you guys already, this fourth project is the grandfather of all evil. Then he went on to say he is now getting them to acknowledge that there is that link between the two, and that's crucial. Crucial too for us as we move forward. You heard that. Those are his words. He's now going to try to get them to acknowledge insurance because it is crucial for us. We don't have a cent insurance yet. And we have minimum insurance on Liza 1, Liza 2, and 3. God be with y'all when this country really have to face a well blowout or an oil spill out there. ExxonMobil, Uncle, can give we $1 guarantee for any damage done to Guyana. You hear that? Exxon can give us $1 guarantee for any damage done to Guyana. Nothing is set in stone yet. Jagdeo is still looking at maybe up to $2 billion. You see how words can be deceitful and words can be dangerous. Words can put you in your graveyard. Yes. Any damage caused here in Guyana, Uncle? That doesn't mean an oil spill or a well blowout. Even if you get a well blowout, Uncle, Exxon will say, we didn't settle for oil damage or pay your neighbors. We settle to give her your money for them blocking up roads and 1-2 bridges. Because nothing is there for oil. Yeah? You listen to Jagdeo words?
That's smart.
Damage done to Guyana. The vice president said absolutely nothing. He blowing smoke, Uncle, playing games with a lot of pausing and stammering, like a man feeling his way and not sure of how the words will come out. He's hanging a big $2 billion balloon in front of your eyes in the air with no strings attached to it. Keep your eyes and ears open and listen and watch carefully the words and the games these leaders playing with our future. Please, Uncle. What he said there is not only tricky and slippery, but he was out of place. He was out of place to think we can get by with this other scheme they want to pull on us. Let me go a little further into what Jagdeo said. so you can get a clearer picture of this hoodwink and defensive position he's taking against us. He said, from the beginning, there was no parent company guarantee. It was implicit, they said. It means, Uncle, according to Jagdeo, the parent company doesn't have to guarantee anything. It is understood. When he used the word, it is implicit. Jagdeo running the oil sector with understood. Let me simplify it a little more. It's like a man come and ask home for your daughter. Would you allow the man in your daughter's bedroom without marriage? Miss Harris?
No.
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 And when the mother asked the father why he allowed the man to go in the bedroom, he tells she it is implicit. It is understandable that he will marry her legally. That is what the vice president is telling Guyana. It is understandable that Exxon will take care of the damages caused by an oil spill without signing a marriage paper, signing the agreement, or getting that insurance policy signed. That's what it means in a nutshell. Let me close tonight's program by letting all of you know, Uncle and Auntie, that we don't have to beg, ask, or demand insurance. Miss Harris, the contract between Guyana and the oil company is crystal clear. Listen to this, Danny.
Yes, sir.
The contract says the agreement between Exxon, Hess, and CNOOC requires the oil companies to compensate the government for any lawsuits, claims, or actions which may be taken by a third party against the government, resulting from the negligence of the contractor during the oil operation. That means, Miss Harris, if there's an oil spill or any act of negligence, ExxonMobil has to provide compensation to the government and the people affected by the damages. They have to compensate for the injuries or loss. But if they don't have money, which they don't have, Uncle, then it is our duty and responsibility to ensure that we are protected. And the only way we can be protected is through full insurance, with a signed insurance policy from an insurance company who has the capability, the capacity, the ability to pay. You see it? We don't have to beg. The agreement mandated that, Uncle. Is our vice president enforcing that? No. He's begging them to acknowledge and guarantee maybe up to $2 billion. You heard him. Can you play it back again, man? Let these people hear this thing. Yes, play it back.
As you know, we're constantly seeking to improve the permits, and so we've already, in the one that we're looking for the Yellowtail project, we're looking for a generic position where the parent company, Exxon, will now guarantee up to we're looking at maybe up to $2 billion of any damage caused here in Guyana, because from the beginning there was no parent company guarantee. It was implicit they said. So we are looking at it, and it has to grow. This would have to grow. But it is now acknowledging, getting them to acknowledge that there is that link between the two. That's crucial for us as we move forward.
2 billion, maybe up to 2 billion. Even if we get it, you hear me, Miss Harris? That can't even fix a little piece of our beautiful Essequibo when an oil spill happens. Yep. Much less Guyana and we neighbors. The contract goes on to say that the oil companies shall take out insurance at all times in respect to pollution caused in the course of the oil operation, for which the oil companies are liable for losses, damages, or injuries. You hear that?
Yes, sir.
Let me read back that part, man. The contract goes on to say that the oil company shall take out insurance at all times in respect of pollution caused in the course of the oil operation, for which the oil companies are liable for losses, damages, or injuries. So you see, Uncle, the agreement clearly states that oil companies must at all times provide full compensation for any loss, injury, or damage caused. Uncle, the contract leaves no doubt and no room for confusion. So the oil company at all times must have insurance to provide full compensation. Man, if you get a chance, please read the contract. It is online. It is not implied. It is directly stated. So the vice president and the opposition leader and that financial guru, Dr. Singh, plus Stratman, should go back and read the contract that they signed, staring them in the face. Myself, my staff, and the nation has been calling for full cover insurance on Lisa 1, 2, and 3 because, Uncle, we already being affected heavily in so many ways. The fishing industry already gone. Who will compensate Guyana? Mr. Jagdeo? Mr. Harman? Who will take care of those families who depend on that for their livelihoods? Who will compensate the Guyanese people when we would have to import fish and shrimp to eat? Our roadways are being destroyed every moment of the day. Yep. I see them patch up 2 months ago, the back road there, the junction, when the turn going on the east bank of Demerara. Just by the junction, the roundabout there. You guys pass there every day, you got to see it. Yep. I pass there every day too. And you got to see what it looked like. It won't redo again. And only 2 or 3 months ago they did it.
You won't be surprised the attempt first.
The fishing industry is gone. They produce water with the deadly chemicals. Them dumping already, flowing into our creeks and trenches from the Atlantic Ocean. Who will compensate us for all the money we have to spend on medical bills, suffering from the various diseases we will contract from the water, Mr. Jagdeo and Mr. Harman? You guys should tell us something about that too. And up comes the flaring that is creating a heat wave now in Guyana. Day and night, And if none of you, uncle, not feeling the heat, then you better go check a doctor to see if you're not dying already from the drinking water. Because I had to change my air condition size. I had to change the size in my room just to keep me cool in the night. The old cars now have to come off the road because they don't have air condition system. Who's going to compensate them for the heat wave? Because they can't work, they can't get passenger. Who's going to compensate me for having to upgrade my AC unit? Mr. Jagdeo and Mr. Harman, please send me the check. I think I spent 200 and something thousand. Please send me it. Miss Harris, a little oil spill would destroy the entire coastline. It will destroy our agriculture. And Guyana will become a wasteland, just like many countries in Africa. And when that happens, auntie and uncle, you will have to plant on the rooftop of your house. And this vice president rushing through the Ford project, telling us he's trying to get Exxon to acknowledge, trying to get Exxon to guarantee up to $2 billion for any damage caused in Guyana. Man, these people got to be out their head. Like I said, I don't want to only cry for Guyana. I want to scream for Guyana. He rushing to give them the Ford project, the grandfather of all evil, not seeking to use this leverage he has in his hands to correct all the wrongs that happened in the contract.
Amen.
That's right.
Amen.
Not trying to squeeze Exxon B, you know what I mean, to get a better royalties.
Amen.
Instead of begging.
He is not using this opportunity to claw back what we have lost in that bad deal with Lisa 1, 2, and 3. No. He's on Exxon runaway train to fetch out everything overnight, endangering us and leaving us stranded.
Very bright.
These are the brilliant financial gurus you have. Yes. These financial gurus that you love so much doing this to y'all. You guys don't take time to listen and discuss what is going on with your future. You guys are heading for extreme danger. Try to discuss these things and come off the cuss down and the abuse down with one another on race and party politics. About who do this and who do that, which party gonna win and which party this and which party that. Which party right and which party wrong.
Black or Indian.
Indians and Africans. Y'all continue with attitude
Have to stop.
and don't wake up to the realities of
Have to
life.
stop.
Don't see each other as brothers and sisters.
Amen.
As one.
A
Amen.
bright future is staring you all in your faces.
Yes.
I want to make it clear.
Make it clear.
I want to make it clear, Guyana, that minimum insurance we have is from the local companies that registered here by the oil companies. That minimum insurance cannot even remodel an office, much less compensate us when a little oil spill happens. And here this one, Miss Harris. Them doesn't keep the money here in Guyana. Them just ship it out every month to the parent companies. And Jagdeo and Harman, them fully well know that. We reported a story recently and say how one of the companies shipping out them money in the billions. And guess how much money you left in the local account, Mr. Tony? 60 million Guyana dollar.
Couscous.
Yes. That's what they left in the Guyana bank account. It's not laughable. It's not funny. 60 million. We can't even remodel the Marad office. They're holding that account. That is the money they're holding in the account to compensate we for $1 trillion damage. You hear that? 60 million they got in the account. You guys remember how much they bid the other day to remodel the Marad office? Remodel it only $85.5 million. And the insurance company keep 60 million for take care of damages in Guyana. $1 trillion damage. Guys, before I take any calls, I just want to say to every caller, please keep the praises for what I do here out of the discussion. Time is of essence, and let's use it wisely. When you call, please get to the point. Thank you. Once again, happy Diwali, stay safe, and keep your eyes on the devils of this land. Let me also say happy Diwali to the leaders of this country. I hope they can use their offices a little more to eradicate every evil that is in our land.
It's too hard to get rid of.
And let the light of goodness, brightness, shine on our country and its peoples once again. Please, Friday, I will be having a special program away from oil and gas. You may want to eat your belly full before you listen to the program, because when I am finished, you wouldn't be able to eat. More videos I have for you to listen. For you to listen. That will make you scream for Guyana. Good night. Thanks for listening. And may God bless you all.
Thank you very much, Mr. Lall, for your presentation. You're listening to us on Kaieteur Radio 99.1 and 99.5 FM, and it is the radio with a difference. We will take a few calls this evening before we wrap things up here, and of course we'll take some comments and some questions from our members members of the panel this evening. 226-7453 and 226-7453.
Good evening, sir.
We have a caller. Go ahead.
Am I on to your program there?
Yes, you're live.
Okay. I wish to give you a synopsis of what happened yesterday at West Coast Burbies at the Latchmans in the primary school.
Yeah?
In respect to the Environmental Impact Assessment Project.
Yes.
Yellowtail Development Project.
Yes.
Myself and team was the that team. I was very disappointed and frustrated as to the presentation there yesterday, because Danny and team did ask some very pertinent questions, but there were no answer. The consultant, they were unprepared to answer a question. Like, who funded the project? Who paid those people? They couldn't answer. All they do was dodging around the answer. And Mr. Lall spoke about fish. I asked them that since thousands of fishermen and indirect people are going out of business, who will compensate these people? There was a young lady there who proclaimed to be the engineer, said that the project have full coverage for every damages. And I think
That is what she said?
Danny
That's what
yes,
she
and
said?
I think Mr. Danny, yes. And I think Mr. Danny asked her, who's lying, the vice president or she?
Well, hold a
The
second.
vice president said,
Hold a second, please.
Yeah.
Hold a second. If she
Yes, sir.
said,
Yes, sir.
if she said that the project has insurance to cover the fishermen, then I encourage all the fishermen to go down to Exxon Mobil headquarters in Kingston and demand their losses
That's right.
and call her name. What's her name? You guys remember her name?
Who named the young lady?
Who
No, I
said?
can't remember her name.
Who said
The young lady,
Exxon
the
will?
lady said the young lady said she's employed as an engineer. She's a Guyanese, and she read from a paper stating that ExxonMobil, any damages happen during the operation, people will have full coverage.
Well, could you arrange to get the fishermen them who have suffered to go down there to her at her office, whether at the ExxonMobil headquarters or where, and demand your payments?
Yeah, because the fishermen already start crying out that the fishing is reduced, and you was there when a young lady from the Three-Door Fishermen Co-op state that they are not catching the amount of fish.
Well, we have gone past that. The fishing industry will disappear in a year's time. And the government just last week in their half-year report have also in their report they mentioned that too, that it's dwindling.
And next point
Yeah.
is that one of the presenters talk about socio-economic impact, and she said that Georgia will be affected, but Guyana will not be affected. So I don't understand if Georgia will be affected by the impact, how Guyana will not be affected when all Guyana depend on Georgia for service and goods.
Exactly.
And she presented a stats, a survey showing everything positive. Guyana is living an average life. And I challenge her that her statistics is inaccurate. And she couldn't speak.
Well, I'll tell you this. What they're telling you there, they are flowering it up for you guys. But the entire EIA project document spells out every danger that Guyana will befall. But they are not bringing out the danger to tell you. We have to, the newspaper, or you got to go online and read the EIA fine. A matter of fact, you want to hear is how many pages? It's 10,400 pages. They give Guyana 10,400 pages to read 10 days before to have a public consultation. So whatever they're telling you, they're picking and choosing what to tell us. But it's a very dangerous project document they put out there. It spells doom for Guyana in so many ways. We have reported so many aspects of it for the last 2 weeks or 3 weeks. And there's so much more to come out. That Guyana is moving so fast. I wish I had 300 reporters to dive into it and to bring it out to really show Guyana what danger lies ahead for us. But if she told you,
to acknowledge, what I want to acknowledge and comprehend the team that went there yesterday, their input was very pertinent, but their response from the people who were there, they couldn't answer those questions.
Thank you.
And you guys did a good job. But what I think need to happen, Guyanese need to be educated in this respect.
Well, that's what I'm trying to do every Monday, Wednesday, Friday. You guys gotta spread the word there. I am saying to every Guyanese, pick up somebody in the village, let them ride with a bicycle or a motorcycle, ring a bell and tell them to listen to the Kaieteur radio. I am trying my best.
Yes, sir.
I have another staff here.
Sir.
A girl, Kiana Wilberg, is also trying her best every Tuesdays and Thursdays at 7:22 to educate.
My question to you, sir. You are doing an excellent job, but
Thank
we
you.
cannot solve the problem by preaching. What is our next move?
That's a beautiful question you asked. What's the next
I mean,
move?
you're doing a good job, but we cannot solve this problem by preaching.
We have to get
What
out.
is your next move?
We have to get out. We have to get out in the streets, in front President Ali residence, Vice President Jagdeo residence, and ExxonMobil headquarters.
Okay.
Right?
But we need,
Thank you.
We need to do that. No, we need to do that in a very formative way.
Thank you. Have a good night.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, Josh. Take the thing.
We have a call in line there. Caller, good evening to you and welcome to the Glenn Lall Show.
Hi, good night. Try to get on to y'all, man. But I listen to your show every night,
Raise it.
you know. Yeah. And I want y'all know one thing, you understand what I'm saying, is that each one of them from Jagdeo, Grange, and them, I feel them one of them got a place with a dynamo. You understand? I feel them one of got a place where the guy can sell out the yana all the time, you know. You know what I mean? It's like each one of them cool, you know. It's like very cool fucking one of them, you know.
Right.
Each certain people alone.
Sir, cut him off.
$5,000.
Cut him off.
And
Sir, you're live on the radio and you cannot use these type of languages. You want the people shut the radio station down? You got to be respectful and be nice to the people, man. Good night.
Good night.
You're on the air. Live on the air.
Good night, Mr. Glenn Lall. Good
Good
night,
night.
listeners.
Good night.
I'm calling on behalf of myself and the residents of the Macdoom-Houston area who are not given a voice to this mind-boggling health problem taking place by the Guyana Shore-based company. They have filled up a dam and made it into a road, or what they think is a road, to come straight across from Darfur to the Houston area. And the noise from transporting these humongous pipes and their other equipment and machinery to their ships from 9 p.m. in the nights to 4:30 a.m. in the mornings is unbearable and becoming a major health and mental health problem. Because it is just unexpected of these people and inhuman to overlook such a major health problem. You know, when the residents of Houston try to make representation, they are treated with a slave mentality by the guards at the gate. No one is there in the office now to speak with you. The EPA is weak. It is a downright advantage being taken over our people. Their concrete walls and their homes are cracking. The dust is a total nuisance. People get ill. They have, what you call the thing? I can't remember now. However, it's a health hazard.
Yes, yeah.
You know, it's hopeless, and the noise, even earplugs won't work with you because your ears are not accustomed to earplugs every night, right? So it's more of a health hazard. All these powered people need to do, Mr. Lall, and I am no genius, is fill the road evenly, compress it properly, and asphalt it to a smooth surface. It won't take a rocket scientist to figure that one out.
I agree with
Then,
you.
right, and then not only that, there's a chemical plant being set up at the back of Macdoom, off of CIDI Drinks Factory. My word, what is going on? Isn't there no respect for the people of Guyana, whether you have money or not? Huh? And the big ones are in their air-conditioned homes, enjoying life, not batting an eyelid to the poorer people or even giving them a thought. You know, they're making all the money. The Guyanese people are getting nothing. what we're getting is sleepless nights, a constant set of dust and sand from the unfinished road, and an endless amount of tumbling and deafening noises. You have to hear this thing, right, at nights until morn.
Well, I pass there every night, and sometimes I have put a special traffic light there. One of the brightest traffic light in the whole country is right there.
About 4 or 6 traffic lights never functioned.
And sometimes I stop. Sometimes they have 24-hour police working there.
Yeah.
They-
With one little danger light.
Yeah, we are paying. We tax-paying dollars are paying the police, and the police working for the oil company, 24-hour day, and we don't have police to go after the criminals.
After our affairs.
Yes, or if you had an accident on the road.
No, their drivers are in an air-conditioned cab with earmuffs, buddy. Huh?
I hear you, my dear.
Well, my husband, when he was a city councillor, had the other side of that road resurfaced from Pradipal Singh's fisheries out to the public road. And that road, Mr. Lall, is still standing like a rock because it was made properly. Of course, he knew it no other way. You know, but this is a total advantage on those poor people, right? And the people at the back of Macdoom and Houston. What are we to do? We're going to get sick, you know? And when they start with this chemical plant, one morning you can get up and just see people dropping like flies.
Please
These
write.
people come here to do what?
Please write a letter. Please write a letter to our Vice President, Jagdeo. And you can CC it to the President, CC it to ExxonMobil, Gisby, head, and send it to the opposition leader. No, do that. Do that.
Yes, I will.
If
It won't
not,
cost me,
if
it won't
not,
cost me
if
anything.
not, you have another option. You can file a suit in the court.
Oh,
If you feel that your rights.
The life in my lifetime?
No, but if you feel your rights have been trampled upon,
Of
then
course.
then move to the court. I am moving.
We have no rights in this country.
I am moving to the court next week on something. On
You
something
heard
big.
what I just said? The citizens of this country has no rights. Huh?
No, man,
when
we
you
have
think,
rights.
When you think this lawsuit is going to come through?
We have rights, my dear. We have rights. We
Well,
we have rights. Trust me, we have rights.
I know we
You
have
can
rights.
go-
We should have rights.
You can go and seek an injunction, right? And hear what they will say.
You're right.
No, listen. We all have to fight this fight together. If not, we will sink together.
We're fighting a losing battle.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Thank you. To have a
Yeah,
pleasant
you-
evening.
God bless everybody. Wow.
Mr. Glenn Lall,
Yes, sir.
so we went to the hearing at Bush Lot. They sent out the pamphlet to the people.
You went to the public consultation
Yes, sir.
at Bushlot, yeah.
The pamphlet that was given out to the people says bad settlement. So it was a decoy or not, we don't know. But the people was very baffled with the pamphlet. They don't know where to go. We have a copy of the pamphlet in front of us here.
I was told somebody said that to me, that where they advertised for the consultation, they changed it. And, well, they have been mamagaing in the entire Guyana with this consultation that they're going on with. So it's not when I heard it last night, it didn't surprise me. It's a game these people playing with us. You know? They don't want no consultation. They don't want no public consultation. And I am so happy that people turning up. But after they realize people turning up, they're changing the location
Exactly.
overnight.
Yeah.
You know? And guess what? The vice president will say nothing, and the opposition leader will say nothing about it.
Of course not.
So basically, EPA and Exxon is playing games with the whole country. And everybody's silent on that.
So the next question I asked them was, based on your study, how many barrels of spill that you guys are accommodating? in your study? The gentleman said to me, we're only accommodating 180,000 barrels of spill. And based on the spill, he said that it will dissipate with the sun. And
That's a produced water, 180,000.
no, the barrel of spill oil.
Okay.
So I asked him who is paying for the study and who hired him. When he first approached the mic, he said the EPA of Guyana hires him, but Exxon is paying him. Therefore, I asked another question following up to that question. Have you ever worked for Exxon any part of the world before? And his answer to me was yes. So, is it a tailored fit? We don't know. For
No.
suit ExxonMobil?
No.
I don't know. We don't
No,
know.
I don't think it's a tailor fit issue. The EIA people was hired by Exxon. Of course, I think with consultation with our government, EPA, to carry out this study, this EIA study. And Exxon it has to pay for that. These are international companies that when they finish with the study, they have to present it to the people, their findings. So this is what they are presenting here to Guyana and its people.
But it's only based on 180,000 barrels. When we going to
No.
do more?
No, well, the barrels, based on the barrels, the EIA is just to tell Guyana the impact this project will have, all the bad, evil, good, whatever it will have on Guyana. That is what they were hired to do. You understand?
Yeah.
And that's what they are telling Guyana. That's why they're holding this consultation to tell Guyana, well, these are our findings, and this is what will happen to Guyana. They have no other responsibility to anybody else but to tell you your fish can disappear, your water will damage, chemicals will be thrown there, and all these things.
So my next question was to him was, has the flaring, because of the flaring and the warming, is that the cost of our farmers on the Mahaika, the rice farmers, got the flood out? First he tries to baffle me, and then he finally came around and says, it could be or maybe, and all these answers was all ambiguous.
Of course.
Well, pumping of oil and dumping of the produced water is raising the ocean
And the flaring.
and the flaring. Right? So all that is the impact of what this project will do to Guyana.
Thank you.
So they can't lie. And they can't make us, they can't hoodwink me on that. Because if they left out anything, this is why the document is so long, you know. That document detailed every single thing that will happen to Guyana. 10,400 pages. So, and why they can't lie to us is because we can sue them. We can sue them.
Yes.
Right? So they will come and tell you the truth in fine print and say, listen, this is the document. You agree, you got to sign it. And once you sign it there, they're good to go. You can't, 20 years, 30 years down the road, you can't sue them for anything. Every single thing is in that document. So basically they're railroading us
Correct.
with these consultations, not giving you time to study it, to ask the appropriate questions. Right? Thank you.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
Ms. Harris? Josh?
Yes, sir. 226-7453.
Yeah, the numbers people
And 226-7454. You can also call us on WhatsApp or SMS. Sorry, WhatsApp on 622-2222, and you can SMS us on that same number as well. Any caller coming through? Of course, you're listening to us on the Glen Lall Show on Kaieteur Radio 99.1 and 99.5
99.5
FM.
FM.
Yes.
FM.
And
Do we have any? I want to. Joshua,
yes, sir.
there's a beautiful video
Yes.
of one of my heroes of Guyana. Could we just play that for the listeners before they go to bed?
Yes.
And let's call it a night,
Yes, we can.
because it's getting up to 9, and this short piece of video you will enjoy, guys. Please listen, and until Friday, stay well and stay safe. Namaste.
One man against the world. Oh. One man against the world.
Platform. My topic is about ExxonMobil and the attempt to colonize Guyana. Now, colonization is a very broad area. I just hope to show you that ExxonMobil's behavior amounts to an attempt at colonization, and to show you also that ExxonMobil's attempt is failing, and it can only fail. Basically, the main point of colonization is to take a country's resources and to pay little or nothing for it. The colonizing entity co-opts the political elite, and the colonizing entity and the co-opted political elite rely on agents and accomplices. And together, you have an unholy trinity that completes the colonization. To get away with colonial behavior, genocide, you have slavery, people, brutality, land dispossession, grinding poverty for the colonized, riches for the colonizing power. The lie of civilization and Christianity isn't going to work now. So today, the colonizers say we'll get economic development, the holy grail of the capitalist system. We know what this economic development looks like: genocide, land grabs, grinding poverty for the colonized, riches for the colonizing power and the elites and the accomplices and agents, and destruction of the natural world, ecocide. This time, things are different. The Earth is on the brink of climate catastrophe and biodiversity collapse. Nick Stern, the British economist, has described climate change as the biggest market failure the world has ever seen. Markets fail. I'm not predicting the end of capitalism, but I am telling you that the fossil fuel sector is collapsing. The once mighty oil and gas sector is now the smallest sector in the stock market, and fossil fuels are the worst performing businesses. Renewable energy makes more money. And among all the oil majors who are in trouble, one company stands out: ExxonMobil. ExxonMobil was once the biggest company in the world. Now it's smaller than Home Depot, a home improvement business. It's famous for its massive dividend payments. In Imperialism, the highest form of capitalism, Lenin pointed out that from 1900 to 1907, the monopoly company Standard Oil, Exxon's previous incarnation, paid dividends ranging from 36% to 48%. That dividend is hardwired into Exxon's identity. But now it doesn't have the cash. It has to borrow money to pay this famous dividend. How long will banks and financial institutions continue to lend money to a company that is in decline? Exxon has been kicked out of the Dow Jones Index when it was there for nearly 100 years. In 2007, its market capitalization was about 528 billion US dollars. Today, it's 160 billion, and Exxon owes about 50 billion. Last week, ExxonMobil's value dipped below that of NextEra, a renewable energy company. If you had invested in NextEra, your return would be 600% in a decade. If you'd invested in Exxon, your share value went down by half. So Exxon has come to Guyana for one reason, and one reason only: profit. This is a colonial enterprise. And remember, private companies have always played a significant role in colonial history. The British East India Company colonized the entire Indian subcontinent and had its own private army. Closer to home, the colonization of Guyana began with the small and rather insignificant